Hello, you are watching the latest edition of DBE TV News. We come to you every Friday on the DBE TV channel 122 on OpenView at 12 p.m. and on the Department of Basic Education's YouTube channel. Welcome, I am Tsehohajo Moagi. In our top stories this week, the Basic Education Department hosts the Finland Minister. The Gauteng Education MEC saddened by the brutal killing of a parent at a school. Learners showcase their legal talents at the moot court competition. A primary school in KwaZulu-Natal receives a newly refurbished kitchen. The Basic Education Department this week hosted the Minister of Education of Finland, Lee Anderson. The bilateral engagement will allow for both countries to share best practices of the education sector. Minister Angie Motshekga and the Deputy Minister, Dr. Regina Mhaule, welcomed the Finnish delegation as part of the discussions included possible areas of cooperation between the two countries. Dr. Mhaule emphasized the importance of quality early childhood development learning. She was speaking during a high delegation engagement with the Finnish delegation at the University of Pretoria. Mhaule explained that early childhood learning has been ongoing in South Africa since the early 2000s, but admitted that more needs to be done.
Quality early learning opportunities are critical to ensuring that children from poor households start formal schooling on equal footing to their wealthiest peers. This is key to attacking the highest level of inequality and poverty. In fact, Sustainable Development Goals take ECD as the key to dealing head-on with inequality. The Sustainable Development Goal number 10 says to reduce inequality in among countries. Early childhood stimulation and food supplementation will enable children living in extreme poverty to attain outcomes closer to more affluent peers. SDG Goal 17 calls for the strengthening the means of implementing early childhood development interventions to ensure that all children thrive by 5. We are called upon to strengthen coordination across sectors to achieve common health, social and economic goals, and bring civil society and governmental partners together, all by paying attention to ECDs. We're also aware that alongside addressing access, we have to focus on quality in order to achieve the desired child outcomes. The results of the Thrive by 5 index released earlier this year show that there is a lot we need to do to support early learning programs to attain quality outcomes. The index provides us with relevant information to improve quality through practitioner development and appropriate resourcing. That is what our department is currently planning for. We appreciate that the University of Pretoria has come up with a new degree on early childhood development, especially 0 to 4 age cohorts. We are also driving the redrafting of the Children's Second Amendment Bill, and one of the objectives of the bill will be to alleviate the bureaucratic burden of multiple registration process. To review the regulatory framework is to make registration and access to funding more easily accessible to all ECD programs.
Mhaule also highlighted some initiatives in place that will ensure ECD programs work smoothly and all children can thrive by 5.
To review the regulatory framework is to make registration and access to funding more easily accessible to all ECD programs. In collaboration with the World Bank and National Treasury, we are also conducting a public expenditure and institutional review of the early childhood development sector. For us, this is the first step to building a case for more public investment in early childhood development in our homeland. We recognize that early childhood development practitioners are key to delivering quality early learning outcomes. We therefore need to ensure that all ECD practitioners are equipped and supported to implement the national curriculum framework in a manner that will lead to children reaching the early learning outcomes required to be school ready. Two initiatives that the Department of Basic Education is involved with to equip the support and support ECD practitioners includes the development of a human resource development plan and the development of quality assurance and support system. The quality assurance and support system will define quality standards to ensure the quality provision of early learning programs. This system will also include a vital support elements to support early learning programs to reach the required quality standard. To equip the support and support ECD practitioners includes the development of a human resource development plan and the development of quality assurance and support system. The quality assurance and support system will define quality standards to ensure the quality provision of early learning programs. This system will also include a vital support elements to support early learning programs to reach the required quality standard. We also working closely with the Department of COGTA to find ways in which integrated service delivery can happen more effectively at a municipal level. All these initiatives should create a more conducive and supportive environment for ECD programs to flourish, thereby providing our young children with best chance of succeeding later in life. As you know, Ambassador and Minister, there are plenty of areas of cooperation to get early learning foundations on track, and we are going to work together. And another area that we identified as the Department of possible cooperation is teacher development. One of the new sector priorities for the 6th administration is to ensure that teachers and learners are supported to acquire skills and competencies for a changing world.
The Finnish Education Minister spoke about some lessons learned in her country and how the investments needed to ensure the growth model in Finland succeed.
Investing in people, which is the most important resource any nation can have, and also fostering human capital. This really has been the core principle of the Finnish growth model and of the Finnish education policy for several decades. We have stressed the importance of social equity and inclusion, trying to enable every individual, regardless of their background, a path to quality education. And the reason we needed to do this was because we didn't have a lot of money or natural resources, but we did have our people. And if you have a small nation with only 5.5 million people, you really need to make sure that you use the potential of every single citizen. So therefore, equality and equity has been a very important principle for the development of the education system.
She added that it is important for each child to receive quality learning, no matter the background they are from.
It's also important to stress, as Deputy Minister also did and the previous speakers, that everything really starts with the early years. And I believe that every child should have the right to high quality early childhood education and care. In this regard, the discussions that we've had here in the Republic of South Africa have been of utmost importance and reinforced our shared vision. And our aim is to announce cooperation between your National Department of Basic Education and the Finnish Center of Expertise in Education and Development, especially on early childhood development. And the idea is to deploy Finnish professionals in short and long-term expert tasks and missions in the South African education sector, to promote networking, to support multi-stakeholder collaboration, and also advocacy in early childhood development. Dear friends, primary education in Finland starts at age 7, and pre-primary education starts at age 6. So when we refer to early childhood education and care, we refer to everything that's happening from age 0 up until age 6.
The delegation also visited Mbuyisa Makhubu Primary School in Soweto, where they were welcomed by the Deputy Minister and the new Gauteng Education MEC, Madume Chilwane.
So they are here for all the things that they are doing in the country. So we sat down with them to look at the issues of collaboration with them. But we felt that since they are doing well in the early childhood development and teacher development, we need to work together with them. So we had a meeting yesterday with the minister where we discussed the areas of cooperation where we identified these two. So we felt that they can't just come to South Africa and end in the offices of basic education. We wanted to share with them that they practically see what is happening in our schools, especially in townships, because they visited, they are sleeping in town, but they must come to the township and see what it feels, what our children do in the township schools. We brought them here to the Makhubu Primary School, and they see for themselves.
Meanwhile, the Finnish Minister of Education explained her experience in South Africa.
It's a very interesting time also to be here because the responsibility for the whole of the early childhood development has now been transferred to the Ministry of Education in South Africa, and we had the similar transfer in Finland in 2013. And we have since been working on early childhood education, on quality and making it a stronger part of the education path. So I see that there's a lot in the cooperation, also collaboration that we can work on, and the Finnish Center for or Agency for Excellence in Education and Development is the actor in Finland that does the cooperations, and we'll, for example, we'll be able to use Finnish experts to participate in projects, short or long-term projects, for example, on the quality assurance in early childhood education and care.
When we return, we hear about the death of a parent who was trying to prevent a scholar transport hijacking.
To the Second Chance Matrics class of 2021, you are not alone. We are with you. We have prepared a revision program that is there to assist you fill in any gaps that you might be having, clarify any concepts that you might be confused on. Make sure that you do catch it on DBE TV channel 122. Check out our social media platforms for more information and some links to great resources that are there to also assist you. All the best.
The Gauteng Education MEC has sent his condolences to the family and friends of a man who was shot and killed in Soweto. It's understood 34-year-old Eugene Chililo was killed after attempting to stop a scholar transport hijacking that was fetching learners from Faranani Primary School on Tuesday afternoon. He was fetching his own child from the school when he saw what was taking place. The incident is alleged to have happened in front of the school's main gate in full view of learners and staff. Police are currently investigating the circumstances surrounding the incident. Chilwane says this incident shows that as a country we still have a long way to go in fighting crime.
We have seen how criminals have become emboldened. The nerve that you can come to a school and really hijack a vehicle where there are children inside. It shows that lawlessness has crept in. Criminals have become heartless. They've really lost a sense of value. And it really requires all of us to begin to fight this. We can't hand over our communities to criminals. And this is one of the signs that show us that we have slowly allowed this involvedness from criminals.
He went on to speak about increasing the security in schools.
But as part of intervention, the Premier had announced that they will be recruiting 6,000 new police officers. In that 6,000, we would be requesting that schools should be guarded by a police official as part of a program to apprehend. Not only in the morning, obviously there is an intervention program that the school must be adopted by a police officer. But now, we would want police officers to be stationed and be stationed in our schools in the morning and in the afternoon. That's what we'll be requesting and ensuring that we get for our schools. We have picked up that this area has a problem. There's no police station nearby. That is a matter that we'll take up with the relevant authority. But what we're going to also be requesting is that as and when the safety deploys mobile police station, those mobiles should be near schools. We need to do our best to defend and protect our children and school. This is a learning environment. This is where we nurture future leaders. This is where we nurture the future of this country, and we need to protect it with all we can.
Chilwane also met with the family to send his condolences and offer support on behalf of the Provincial Education Department. Staying in the province, Education MEC Matume Chilwane has urged learners at the Katlehong Engineering School of Specialization to continue working hard. He visited the school as the fourth term got underway. Chilwane was elected and sworn in as the new Provincial Education MEC after Panyazi Lisufi took over as the Gauteng Premier. Chilwane is not new to the education sector. He was the chairperson of the Education Portfolio Committee. The Katlehong School of Specialization was launched last year with a focus on manufacturing, transport and logistics.
One of the key things that we must achieve is to have all our schools at this level. Learners, you are in the best place you can ever be. I'll use my Stop Shop Stewart voice. Learners, all I'm going to say to you is that you are in the best space or place you could ever be in your life. When you are in high school is when you choose a path. It's either you choose a path of success or a path of failure. And you are in a position where you are able to make the best choice and the best path. This school is a fountain that will equip you to be the best in your communities. What I want to see is that all of you here turning around Katlehong or the surrounding area. I'm sure it's all over. The Katoras area. All we want to see is you being the ones that change the townships. A township must not be dust. We need to move away from the days when we say, I come from the dusty streets of Katlehong. There is nothing wrong with turning Katlehong into a suburb, but it can turn into a suburb with your contribution, with what you're going to learn here, and knowing that when I leave Katlehong SOS, I'm going to contribute to the lives and the community of this area to ensure that it moves from where it is, it goes to a higher space. We are depending on you to turn the situation around for us. The only thing that the department can do, the only thing that the principal can do is to give you knowledge, give you the skills, give you the values. That is as far as it goes. From that point, it's up to you.
The 2022 Moot Court competition left a full bench of Constitutional Court justices stunned and impressed. The competition, a partnership between the South African Human Rights Commission, Basic Education and Justice Department, aims to create greater awareness in schools and communities about the Constitution and the values that it embodies through active participation. The aim is also to encourage talented young people to consider pursuing a law career. This competition provides a unique opportunity for learners to develop their research, writing, and oral advocacy skills as they endeavor to come to grips with some of the constitutional issues that are presently facing our country. Participants were allowed to argue their case in any of the 11 official languages in oral rounds before judges in an actual court scenario. The finals were held on Sunday, the 9th of October at the Constitutional Court. Following the arguments from two teams, the judges said they were impressed by the work done by the learners.
We were all unanimously impressed by what we heard. The quality of the research that would have gone into these submissions must have been of a high quality And we are mindful that in all of this, you are all still at school. None of you would have had any opportunity of legal training. None of you would have had any access to acquiring advocacy skills. The oral submissions that were made were of a very high standard. Clearly, you would have had the opportunity to have sort of practiced what is written in your script. But what you couldn't practice was the questions that the court then put to you, because you would not know what kind of questions would be coming. You could maybe generally try and figure out the broad areas of the questions, but the questions that came were very direct and very specific. And we were impressed by the manner in which you were able to respond to those questions.
He went on to encourage learners, urging them not to be despondent.
On a Monday, the council who appear and who stand where you stood today, and they get paid on Monday for doing what they have to do. And you did it today for free, for the love of the Constitution. And I must say to you, and I don't say this flippantly, I think many of the justices who sit here believe that some of the arguments we heard today are of a quality that we can expect in our courts. So you did so well that you were able to rise to the level of people who've had 6 years of training that you've never had. And so that must augur well for you, but for the legal profession in our country, and also for the Constitution, because it says to us what the enormous potential is that exists in our society. And when the Constitution commits itself to freeing the potential of each person, then if you wish to choose a career path in the law, then today is a wonderful demonstration to all of us that it's something that can bring you great joy and great satisfaction. And the profession, the legal profession, is a wonderful profession because it brings you right into the center of what the society we live in is about. And the Deputy Minister and I might disagree, and we might even agree where the courts play too great a role in defining our society. But whatever the outcome of that argument is, it's an important role that we play every day. It's just not about making decisions. It's about impacting on the quality of the kind of democracy we want to have in South Africa and the kind of society that so many people lived for and so many people gave their lives for. And that's what the law is all about.
JC Francis, who was part of the winning team, the applicants, says she is grateful to have had this opportunity to take part in this competition. She also won the overall Oralist Award.
As being the winning team, I'm really pleased with my co-counsel and everything that they put through it, and what I really think made our team stand out was the fact that we were united, even though we had to, combine our arguments the night before. It was quite amazing to work with this group of people, and especially me as a person, it helped me enrich my vocabulary as well as my deliverance, because I can be a bit of a nervous person at times. Because when I first told my family that I'm partaking in this competition, a lot of people, either within my family or people we know of that's pursuing law, were shocked that a 17-year-old, is doing a competition of this magnitude. So it's quite, I think it's beneficial because, as it stated, we were forced to study the Constitution to be able to present these arguments.
Meanwhile, a school in the Northwest province had finalists who represented it. They were named as the most improved province.
We are so proud because for us as a school, it's for the first time we enter for the competition. We only knew about the competition sometime this year, and we take advantage of that, and we managed to go through all the rounds provincially, and we also managed to come nationally. So I think we will be able to encourage other schools or benchmark with them just to show them how this competition is all about and how we can also enter into this competition.
After the break, we are in KZN as a school there receives a newly refurbished kitchen.
Of course, we can be also proud to say that the school nutrition program has made an impact and has contributed actually, because we are really proud when our minister, for example, mentions that, you know, the support program that we have amongst others would be National School Nutrition Program. When she announces, for example, the National Senior Certificates at the end of the year. And we are really proud to be associated as well in terms of, you know, the outcome, the educational outcomes thereof. So I must say that it has an impact in terms of making sure that the children are provided with nutritious meals, and you can actually see, you know, in terms of our menus that we have on a daily basis from a 5-day cycle menu, there is variety. So you can see that even the nutrient intake is actually making up for that balanced meal. A balanced meal that would ordinarily, that a child will not get from home, because it has, you know, starch, it has protein, it has fruit and vegetables. So the impact for us is quite large.
The Basic Education Department, working with Unilever, has handed over a newly refurbished kitchen to Icindezi Primary School in Pinetown in KwaZulu-Natal. This forms part of the National School Nutrition Program, a government intervention program aimed at enhancing the educational experience of learners from poor backgrounds. The program intends to address barriers to learning associated with hunger and malnutrition. The department says the newly refurbished kitchen at the school will restore the program and ensure teaching and learning continues.
We have more than 21,000 schools which we assist, which we provide meals to. So when it comes to NSNP, in all those schools, especially the no-fee paying schools, they depend on NSNP. So we take pride in providing meals. That is not just meals, but nutritious meals to our learners across South Africa. So even here in KwaZulu-Natal, we felt the need that we need to restore the program as soon as possible so that we can restore teaching and learning. So we are here to ensure that learners do not miss that. They go back to school, then they enjoy their education.
Unilever says it is partnering with the department on other projects too, to ensure learners can receive nutritious meals.
We are so excited to be here today to unveil our new renovated kitchen at this beautiful school here in KZN. And I think what we're particularly excited about is that we're actually partnering with the Department of Basic Education. This isn't the only kitchen renovation we're doing. We're going to be partnering to roll out a feeding program across a whole lot of schools in KZN, really driving nutrition and making sure that we get delicious meals into the tummies of our learners, because we know that education is the best gift that we can give them for the future. So
that's how we end this bulletin this week on Channel 122 on OpenView and on YouTube. Before we go, as October is Teachers Month, we would like to thank all teachers for their immeasurable contribution to society. Your work, passion and dedication does not go unnoticed. Thank you for watching.